Feel the peace of tonight, Effie's tale, as it gently guides you to sleep. Angelonia and Euphorbia, the enduring friendship. Its story is about Angelonia and Euphorbia, who showcase the strength of unity and compassion as they protect their forest home from an impending storm. Once upon a time, in a realm where the earth kissed the sky, there lived a young girl named Angelonia. She had eyes the color of the rising sun and a heart full of strength and kindness. Angelonia dwelled at the edge of a lush forest, where she spent her days weaving flower crowns and listening to the melodies of the whispering wind. Not far from Angelonia's cottage, there stood an ancient willow tree. Its branches swayed gracefully, seeming to dance with the whispers of the wind. The forest was alive with secrets and magic, and from this magic, a gentle spirit was born. The spirit took the form of Euphorbia, a whisper of the wind personified, who was as light as a feather and as soft as a summer breeze. Angelonia and Euphorbia quickly became inseparable. While Angelonia carried the strength of the earth, Euphorbia embodied the freedom of the sky. Together, they embarked on countless adventures, exploring hidden glades and enchanted streams, all the while learning the rhythm of nature and the music of the wind. One bright morning, word of an impending storm reached Angelonia's ears. The animals of the forest whispered in hushed tones about the fierce winds and heavy rains that would soon arrive. Angelonia knew that even the strongest of hearts needed support, and so she turned to her friend, Euphorbia, for help. "We must shelter the creatures of the forest," Angelonia declared, her voice steady with resolve. Euphorbia, feeling the urgency in Angelonia's plea, swirled round her like a comforting breeze. "I will guide the winds," she whispered, "and together we will protect our home." As the storm approached, Angelonia and Euphorbia worked tirelessly. Angelonia used her strength to create sturdy shelters from fallen branches and leaves, while Euphorbia communicated with the winds, calming their fury and guiding the rains away from the most vulnerable spots. Through their combined efforts, they managed to shield the forest and its inhabitants from the worst of the storm. When the skies finally cleared, the forest glowed with renewed life. The animals emerged from their hiding spots, chirping and chattering in gratitude. Angelonia and Euphorbia, though tired, smiled at each other with a deep sense of accomplishment and companionship. From that day forward, the bond between Angelonia and Euphorbia grew even stronger. They continued to protect and nurture their forest home, embodying the perfect balance between strength and gentleness. Their friendship was a testament to the power of unity and the enduring strength found in love and compassion. And so, beneath the ancient willow tree, where the earth kissed the sky, Angelonia and Euphorbia lived on, their hearts and spirits intertwined, ever resilient and ever beautiful. Another gentle tale is ready to be shared. Amaryllis and Flower, a bedtime connection. This story is about the deepening connection between Amaryllis, a girl with a unique ability to connect with creatures, and Flower, her ladybug friend, through the magical lily of connection. Once upon a gentle night, in a cozy little town wrapped in twilight, there lived a girl named Amaryllis, with eyes that sparkled like stars. Amaryllis was no ordinary girl. She had a unique ability to connect with all creatures, big and tiny. Her home was a quaint cottage surrounded by a garden that seemed to dance in colors every season. At the very heart of this garden was a patch of the most vibrant red flowers, which is where she met her best friend, a ladybug named Flower. Flower was no ordinary ladybug either. Her wings shimmered in the moonlight, creating a delicate sparkle that would make any heart skip a beat. Every night, as the garden tucked itself under the blanket of the night sky, Amaryllis and Flower would sit together on the velvety leaves of a sunflower, whispering dreams and stories to each other. One evening, as the moon bathed the garden in silver, Flower noticed that Amaryllis was unusually quiet. "Is everything all right, Amaryllis?" asked Flower, her tiny voice filled with concern. Amaryllis sighed deeply, her breath mingling with the cool night air. "I feel like I'm drifting away from everything, Flower. The connection that I once felt so strongly with the world around me seems to be fading." Flower rested on Amaryllis's hand, her tiny feet tickling the girl's paw. "Christines are like the threads of a spider's web, delicate and intricate. Sometimes they need mending. Let me show you something." With that, Flower took a gentle flight, leading Amaryllis to the heart of the garden. In the center, where the moon's light was at its brightest, there bloomed a single white lily. Its petals were soft as silk, and it glowed with an ethereal light. Flower landed on one of its petals and called out, "Amaryllis, come closer." As Amaryllis approached, the lily began to hum softly, a melody so tender and pure that it filled her heart with warmth. Flower fluttered her wings and said, "This is the lily of connection. Whenever you feel disconnected, sit here and listen to its song. It will remind you of the bonds that tie your heart to the world." Tears welled up in Amaryllis's eyes as she took a seat beside the lily. As she listened to its comforting melody, she felt the threads of her connections weaving back together, stronger than ever. She looked at Flower and said, "Thank you, dear friend. You've shown me that even when connections feel lost, they can be rediscovered and nourished." From that night on, whenever Amaryllis felt alone or disconnected, she would visit the glowing lily and the melody would always bring her back. The bond between Amaryllis and Flower grew even deeper, and they continued to share dreams and stories beneath the moonlit sky, knowing that their connection was a precious gift. And so, under the stars in a garden filled with the whispers of dreams, Amaryllis and Flower taught each other the true meaning of connection, whimsical connection, a simple, yet profound bond that transcended words and shared hearts. Let's move gently to the next story. Zinnia and Geranium's Knife of Companionship. This story is about Zinnia, a kind woman, and her friendship with a mouse named Geranium, who finds warmth and companionship in her garden. In a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and vibrant gardens, there lived a kind-hearted woman named Zinnia. Zinnia had a smile that could light up even the gloomiest day. She spent her days tending to the colorful blooms that surrounded her cottage. Her garden was a luscious sea of reds, yellows, purples, and pinks, a true testament to her love for nature. One evening, as the sun began to set, casting a golden hue across the sky, Zinnia heard a faint rustling near the edge of her garden. Curious, she tiptoed closer and found a tiny mouse with soft brown fur and twinkling eyes. The mouse looked up at her, clearly startled, but not frightened. "Then feed it well." "Hello there, Alton," Zinnia said gently, kneeling down. "What brings you to my garden?" The mouse hesitated for a moment before responding. "I will offer responding. My name is Geranium. I was looking for a quiet place to sleep for the night, and your garden seemed so welcoming." Then the wind Zinnia's heart melted at Geranium's small, squeaky voice. "You're welcome to stay as long as you like, Geranium." "What, Geranium?" she replied warmly. "It is from Zinnia, by the way. I am going to add a little bed of leaves for Geranium in her garden shed." She made sure it was cozy and safe. As the stars twinkled above, Zinnia whispered, "On a good night, Geranium." "Sleep tight." But to her surprise, Geranium responded, "Very good night, Zinnia. Thank you for your kindness." And the days turned into weeks, and soon, Geranium had become a regular guest in Zinnia's side garden. They shared many peaceful evenings together. Zinnia would read stories aloud as Geranium listened, his tiny ears twitching with interest. They laughed together, telling tales of their day's adventures, Zinnia with her gardening and Geranium with his explorations. One evening, as autumn leaves began to blanket the ground in hues of gold and crimson, Zinnia noticed Geranium looked a bit downcast. Zinnia, what's the matter, dear friend? Zinnia asked softly. Geranium sighed. I hope I'm getting older. Zinnia, I fear I may not be able to stay with you much longer. But if withering every moment of our companionship. Sad-living tears welled up in Zinnia's eyes. She gently swooped Geranium into her hands and held him close. You will always have a place in my heart, Geranium. You have brought so much joy into my life. Geranium's eyes shone brightly as he nuzzled against Zinnia's hand. And you, Zinnia, have shown me the true meaning of friendship and kindness. Long as the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, Zinnia and Geranium spent their final evening together. They sat in the warmth of Zinnia's cottage, sharing one last story. When Geranium finally fell into a peaceful sleep, Zinnia placed him in his little bed of leaves and whispered, "Place of sweet dreams, my dear friend. Come on, Tifafart." Zinnia never once forgot her tiny companion. Her garden remained a testament to their friendship, blooming more beautifully with each passing year. Whenever she saw the geranium flower, she smiled, remembering the mouse who had brought so much joy into her life. And so, in the serene village nestled between rolling hills and vibrant gardens, the tale of Zinnia and Geranium lived on. A beautiful reminder of the companionship that can bloom even in the most unexpected places. Yeah, let's embrace the next chapter. Geranium and the Dream Guardian Blossom. This story is about the cheerful girl named Geranium who meets Blossom, a dream guardian, in her dreams and learns the magical power of laughter. Once upon a time in a quaint little village named Fultrice lived a young girl named Geranium. She was known for her radiant smile and cheerful laughter, which could light up the gloomiest of days. Her laughter was infectious, and the villagers often found themselves in better spirits because of her. One cool autumn evening, as the sun began to set and the sky was painted with shades of pink and orange, Geranium was lying on her bed, clutching her favorite stuffed animal, a plush bunny named Marigold. She closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep, her giggles still lingering in the air. In her dreams, she found herself in a magnificent garden filled with flowers of every color and variety imaginable. The air was sweet with the scent of blossoms, and the gentle hum of bees and chirps of birds created a symphony of nature's music. As Geranium wandered through the garden, she stumbled upon a towering tree with golden leaves that shimmered like the stars. From behind the tree emerged a figure, ethereal and graceful, with petals for hair and a gown made of delicate blossoms. This was Blossom, the dream guardian. Blossom had been keeping watch over the dreams of children, ensuring they were filled with happiness and wonder. "Welcome, Geranium," Blossom said with a soft, melodious voice. "I've been waiting for you." Geranium felt a surge of warmth and joy at Blossom's presence. "What are you?" she asked, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. "I am Blossom, the guardian of dreams. I make sure that every child has a restful sleep filled with joyous and magical dreams," Blossom explained. Over the course of their encounter, Blossom showed Geranium all the wonders of the dream garden. They laughed and played among the flowers, and Blossom even taught Geranium how to create beautiful dream states with her imagination. Geranium conjured up fantastical scenes, from fields of cotton candy to castles made of clouds, all while giggling with delight. As the night drew to a close, Blossom led Geranium to a serene pond, surrounded by glowing lilies. It's time to return to your world, but remember, laughter and joy are the most powerful magic of all, Blossom said, a twinkle in her eye. Geranium nodded, her heart brimming with happiness and a newfound appreciation for her laughter. She awoke in her bed, the morning sunlight filtering through the curtains. Hugging Marigold close, she felt a sense of peace and excitement for the day ahead. From that day on, Geranium made it her mission to spread laughter and joy wherever she went, knowing that her happiness could brighten even the darkest of days. And every night, she would drift off to sleep with a smile on her face, knowing that Blossom was watching over her dreams, ready to fill them with magic and wonder once more. And Geranium's laughter continued to echo through foliage heights. A reminder to everyone that even in the simplest moments, joy and magic could always be found. Let tonight's calmness stay with you. Good night.